Hi, this is Julie at Love's Beginning with a message called The Extension of Our Shared Identity. The things that trouble you most about others are your projections. They are what you want to see. We're going to give it to you straight. Everything that you think is unfortunate, that you think you'd rather not see, you see it because you want to see it. As you become more aware of egoic thinking, you see that it depends more and more on an identity that is relative, and it tells you that you need separate and opposite-seeming things to relate to stand in comparison with. According to the ego, this makes you real, and this is why you want it. When you believe thoughts from ego, you want to stand in comparison with things you call other, because this is what constructs the false identity you are striving to make real. No matter how much you strive, though, this identity can never be real. It is a useless project that you can abandon. What you are can handle all the cleanup of the perception of what can never be real. Can all this chaotic variety remain when you discover your joy in shared identity? A joy that can never end or be threatened, a joy that is untouched by any conditions? We ask you to ignore what the ego has told you that you want, reaching toward this unending joy that you are together, remembering it, making it primary. When you focus on something that troubles you about another, you are focusing upon the illusion of projection, a false separate identity. You have a good opportunity to witness your attachment to ego, your wanting to insist that something else can be lesser or better. Instead of the wholeness of us, you look at pieces and insist that they are real. This is a game that you can give up. The whole of your experience is handled for you as you give this up. When you notice that you are focusing on something that troubles you about another, ask for help. Rather than the projection of separate identity, please help me see the extension of our shared identity. Your safety is in your shared identity. In the safe harbor of your shared identity, you are untroubled by what appear to be your differences. In the spaciousness of your shared identity, trust builds to allow Spirit to do all the arranging and all the heavy lifting. In the safety of your shared identity, you can rejoice in the relief of seeing the players under their costumes. Your happiness is in your shared identity. In the happiness of your shared identity, you are happy to meet instead of warily defensive. In the happiness of your shared identity, you approach without the sense of threat ego says you need. In the happiness of your shared identity, you know that everything ego tells you and shows you is fiction. You can't unremember who everyone is. Your freedom is in your shared identity. In the freedom of your shared identity, you are carried and held and shown. In the freedom of your shared identity, there is never a moment without guidance. In the freedom of shared identity, all conditions are seen as temporary and insignificant. Your joy comes from what is, not from what appears and disappears. It is our delight to show you this key to happiness that you have always held. It is our joy to see you use it. Thanks for listening.